All right. Hey, music producers and sound designers, welcome back to the stream. In this episode, we're going to be looking at designing a riser for a recent track that we were working on last session. So, I'm just going to play a little bit of that track so if you remember what we were doing. So we're gonna add I think we're gonna add a little bit of bass to this track and a little bit of a riser. So I'm gonna add first do a little composition. We can add an analog bass to this. Just designing one in analog quickly. I want a little bit of that buzz out of it. Actually, we're going to scrap that. So I'm going to go back to the main point of today's session. We're going to open up Reactor and we're going to design a sound in there. So I'm going to open up a new version of Reactor and we're going to go to the build section. I'm going to design a bass sound. So, or not a bass, a riser sound. So let's actually grab the old patch, copy that. I'll duplicate it, bring it to the bottom. Make sure that you save your old version of patches because once you edit them, you're essentially changing them. So we're going to make a riser. So let's see. So I'm going to add, so I already have my oscillator, my filter. I'm just going to remove some of this modulation that we have. Change the waveform to a sine wave. Add some filter movement this time. And change my attack decay sustain. Put them back to default. And some filter movement. So I'm going to turn on my record in. Erase the clip we had before. And let's see what we have. So we want a rising sound. So to create that, we're going to need the cutoff. So let's see. So we want the sound to rise. So I think we can do that with the LFO. And an envelope. So we're going to connect that envelope to mod B. And we're going to call this envelope the pitch envelope, or pitch ADSR. The reason it's going to be called that is so that we can actually drive our pitch upwards. So I want to slow that down, that pitch rising effect. I want to make it slower, so I'm going to manipulate our LFO. I'm going to rename this LFO2. Pitch ADSR is fine for that one. And then I'm going to look for that LFO2. I'm going to look for pitch ADSR and increase the attack so it goes slower. As you can see, when I'm adjusting the attack here, our pitch is being, as I hit a key, it's being modulated slower. I want it to rise slowly. Yep, that's what we want. A little bit of release. And we can add a little bit of effect to that. So to make it more dramatic, we can add some delay. I think that'll add a little bit of depth to our sound, make it really pop out. So we're going to go back into our blocks and our reverb. Going to bring our reverb in. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to save it. Save as. And we're going to save it as a new sound. So I'm just making my own naming convention, so I did a save as so that we have both versions of our patches. We didn't save over anything. So if I go into open my files, we can see my riser, fat bass, and fat pulse are still there. Let's go back and let's add a riser to this track. So you can see the effect of it right here. One more time. And we're going to add a little bit of, going to visualize it with a spectrum. So pitch is rising, the fundamentals going up from 100 hertz all the way up to about 625 hertz and then dropping down with our next pitch. So you can see that again. So from 100 and about 185, and that is about 136 hertz, all the way up until we hit about 631 hertz. So you can refresh by clicking this. And then we got our down riser. Let's add a little bit of a bass to this. Actually, I'm going to keep the bass out of it for now. Just demonstrate that riser sound. This is our riser, and and this is our down riser. And there you have it. We've created 2 sounds in Reactor. The first one we did create was a previous made sound in Reactor, this bass sound. And then the new sound is the riser. So that would be our new riser sound at the bottom. That is this one. If we go into Reactor, you can see it working. And I can just add a little spectrum on the end so you can see and visualize that in Reactor, what's happening with the waveform. Bring in a scope, and we can visualize. As the pitch is higher, we get more dense waveforms. And then it drops back down and goes higher. All right, so that was all we have for today's session. If you like this session or want to keep learning about sound design, be sure to check out my sound design course, link in the description. And also, I'll be making patches available, link in the description as well. And I will see you in the next live stream. Peace out.